Let's talk to Claire Emes, who's head of trends and insight at the polling firm Ipsos MORI. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
Are you surprised at the results of your poll then? 81% thinking this has all been a very positive thing. I mean, it's a very high figure.
No, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's been a summer like no other. I think everybody's really got behind the Jubilee, the Olympics, the Paralympics now. So I'm not surprised that 4 in 5 members of the British public feel that this has had a positive impact on the way disabled people are viewed in the public. Not at all. I mean, certainly we've seen some superhuman efforts from some of our Paralympians. I think we've come a long way. If we look back to last year, we did a study for MENCAP, and we found that the majority of the public couldn't actually name one well-known person that they'd seen in the media with a disability. And in fact, only 1% could name somebody with a learning difficulty. So I think the Paralympics has made a real difference there.
Because, though, that difference has happened in a very short space of time, I mean, effectively in 11 days, is there a danger from what you have seen previously in terms of trends that could then die out as quickly as well?
I mean, it's definitely been a whirlwind, there's no doubt about that. And as I say, it's a summer like no other. And there is a danger, I suppose, we're going back to school now, that there could be a bit of a dip in terms of the public mood. But 3/4 of the British public do feel that the Paralympics specifically has boosted the mood of the nation, and it's improved Britain's standing in the world. So I think there has been a bit of an impact there, especially given how I think negative people felt before all of this.
Is there a sense that it needs to be capitalised on then in terms of maintaining this trend, if you like? I mean, the fact that we now have names like Johnny Peacock, names like Ellie Simmonds, that we're all familiar with, and they're becoming, you know, poster boys and girls, if you like, and aspirational figures.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is, in one sense, a bit of a first.
Absolutely, and 8 in 10 people feel that Paralympians are good role models for children. And I've got 2 young children personally. I'm much happier that my children are supporting our Paralympians than perhaps some other celebrities. Yes, I do think it needs to be capitalised on. We've already seen that the government is going to, there will be funding for up to the Rio Games, and I think that's really important.
It raises a lot of questions for government, though, doesn't it, this sort of issue? Because you look at things like disability benefit and all the latest schemes that Atos are bringing in to work out if anyone's should be getting that benefit. There are some people saying, well, this should mean that the government's should be more generous in what it gives out, and others saying, well, it's showing actually that disabled people can be as capable in everyday life as the rest of us.
Yeah, it's certainly a thorny issue, but I think it has changed the public's view of people with disabilities, and I think the media's attitude as well. So I think the government will listen to that.
Final thought: we saw in the report that one campaigner who's getting mannequins in some shops to be dressed in posed in wheelchairs and what have you. Again, is that something which actually, in terms of the response you get from the public, does make a real difference when people are presented with things, with visual images all the time?
I think so. I think it does make a big difference. I mean, not just people with disabilities, but I think women's sport as well. That's had a massive impact. People are starting to see disabled people and women performing at a high level, and I think that's really made a big difference to public's opinion. I just want to say one thing. Can I just say a huge thank you and well done to one of my colleagues who actually won a bronze medal in the Paralympics in the table tennis. We're very proud of Jane Campbell at Ipsos MORI.
Fantastic. Well, there you go. You say, but it's nice, isn't it? We're all engaging in this new way now.
Personal stories.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant. Claire, thanks very much indeed for that. And it's good, isn't it, Aaron, that in all of this, I mean, your sports bulletins in the years ahead could involve a lot more disabled athletes than we ever see now being mentioned.
Well, we hope so, absolutely. It's made a big difference. The sports coverage itself has been remarkable, really, not just in the newspapers, but on all dedicated channels for the Paralympics. And I think Paralympians have said it makes such a big difference not to be competing in empty stadiums, which has happened not so long ago. So, yeah, a great change.
Long may it continue.
Well, it's all over tonight, I'm afraid. But
it's gotten very
that's
quickly.
not all the sport, of course, because Andy Murray is through.